Hi friends, Kaylee with Kaylee's Canvases here. I am joined by Reegan again today because she's my little helper friend. Hi Reegan. She was waving at everybody. Today we're going to actually paint a cute Valentine's gnome. We got these already, they're black canvases. They're already like the canvas itself is already black, so we don't have to worry about painting it. But if you don't have a black canvas, you can actually just take a white one and paint it completely black. You can use any kind of canvas for this. I thought this one would be cute, but you can make it like a tall one for kind of like a long, curved hat or whatever. But we don't even have to pre-draw this one because it's super easy. It's just cute and fun. For paints today, I have my same reused plate. All right, but I got white, black, I have light pink, a regular pink, probably like a bubblegum pink color. Then I've got some pink glitter paint and then some gold, just for some accent colors here. All right, so what we are going to do, I'm going to set this off to the side. All right, I also, just so you guys know, I have one flat brush and one fine liner brush. All right, so, but I don't even know if we would really need a flat brush. I just grabbed it just because. All right, but I'm going to start off with my fine liner brush just so I can get the outline here. All right, and I am going to go in with my bubblegum pink color. All right, so not the light pink, but the bubblegum pink. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and I'm going to make like a little, almost like a question mark shape. All right, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to kind of go like this. All right, and I'm just going to paint a question mark shape. Now, if you are painting your canvas black, in order to do this, if you're not using like a fully black canvas, you want to make sure that your canvas is completely dry before you do this, or else you're going to end up with some muddy pink color. All right, now I'm going to go and I'm just going to extend out and I'm going to make like another question mark shape on the other side, but instead of coming down quite as drastically in as I did there, I'm just going to kind of stay out a little like this. Okay, and I'm just going to fill this in with that pink. Right, and we're just gonna come down. I'm gonna kind of give it like a little hat shape, okay? Because this is gonna be our hat. All right, if you have to let it dry so that way you can put a second coat on there, we're gonna probably have to do that. So like I said, I'm probably not even gonna need my flat brush for this because this is a small canvas. But if you're doing this on a big canvas, you might need a flat brush just to cover more surface area. But I'm just gonna start with this. Reegan, if you want to, you can bring it down just a little bit further, like towards the middle. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. There you go. Okay. So I've got my outline for the hat. Okay, and I'm gonna let this dry before I add a second coat because as you can see, me trying to add more paint to it is just kind of pushing it around. It's not really adding more color onto it. It's just pushing around the paint. So I gotta let this dry before I can add a second coat. But what I'm gonna do next, I rinsed off my brush, all right, and I'm going to go in with my white paint, all right. So I'm taking my fine liner brush, got my white paint, and for this part, I'm just gonna make the beard now, all right. The nice thing about gnomes is you don't have to get a lot of detail in here because you can't see any eyes, you can't see a mouth. Most of the time you don't always see hands, but we're just going to go in and we're just going to just do a basic shape of a beard. I don't want it to be too long because I want to leave some space down here for like maybe like his little clothing and his feet. All right, so make sure you definitely leave space for his feet and whatever he might be wearing, his little sweater or whatever. And you can make his beard however you want to. If you want it to be kind of jagged like this, or if you want it to just be like one long pointed beard, However you want to do it is fine. All right, so I'm just going to come around. I'm going to fill this in with the white. And again, I might need to do a second coat. I'm not really sure. We'll see how this works out. Most paintings we can just play by ear. All right, so I'm just filling this in, covering it with white. And we'll give him a nose in a little bit, but we're going to definitely need to let the white paint dry before we give him a nose. Alright, right now I'm just changing the shape of his beard to get it to be how I want it to look. You can make this however you want. There's no right or wrong. You know, and the nice thing is this is a nice, easy little painting that you can do with your kids, right, Reegan? Mm-hmm. Alright, so I'm going to rinse off my brush because I fully covered in that beard. I don't think I'm going to need to do a second coat with the beard. I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll see how it looks when it's fully dry. All right, I just rinsed off my brush. I'm going to go in with more of that bubblegum pink. All right, and I'm going to make just like a little robe for him. All right, and I'm just going to come down. And it's almost like a little rectangle shape or a square shape or whatever underneath his beard. And I'm just going to go up to his beard with this, and we will define the line in a little bit between the beard and the robe with some black. But for now, I just want to fill in that bubblegum pink color. I do have my hair dryer here if we wanted to use it for the the hat, if we wanted to dry the hat, so we could go in with some details, because we're gonna use the light pink to add in some cute details on his hat. But I'm not sure yet. You guys know I always like to try to do my videos without the use of a hair dryer, but I also don't want my videos to be super long. So I'm just trying to stay and do different parts to let the other parts dry. Okay. Okay. So I'm kind of pushing around the paint up here a little bit to kind of, there were some thicker spots up on his hat. I'm just pushing that around to kind of get a little bit more coverage. You don't have to do this. You can let it dry. I just want it to dry a little faster and get that coverage on the spots that have already dried. All right, and the reason I have his hat kind of like peeking off to the side here, I want to have a cute little heart dangling from that. So while I'm waiting for this other stuff to dry, I could even go in and I can make the heart. All right, so I'm going to go in with that bubblegum pink again. All right, once I finish this, I'm going to go in with that bubblegum pink. And I'm not going to make it touching the hat. I'm just going to make it a little bit below the hat. All right, and I'm just making a heart. You can make it as big or as small as you want to. Does not have to be perfectly even. This is kind of like a cute little whimsical make-believe, because gnomes don't really exist, little painting.
Garden gnomes exist.
Well, that's true. Garden gnomes do exist. I'm sorry. Reegan corrected me. She's right. Alright, so we've got that. Now let's see, what can we do next so we don't have to use the blow dryer? We could do a little nose.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go in with that lighter pink color. All right, and I'm just going to get a little bit, I cleaned my brush off, getting a little bit of that light pink color. I'm just going to make a little circle, little oval nose here. Right underneath the curve of his hat in the middle. All right, so this is his nose. We will outline this with black in a little bit, so don't worry about being too precise and perfectly round. We are just covering this with that light pink color. All right, so he's got a nose here. You can make it as wide or as round as you want it to be.
With the nose.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So, next step here. My pink is not 100% dry yet. So I am actually going, before I go on to any other stuff, because I want to add more detail to his hat, I'm going to actually use my blow dryer. So I'm only going to use it for a few seconds because it's not a lot of paint, but I want to be able to get, oops. I want to be able to get that additional details on the gnome's hat. When you do, if you do use a blow dryer, if you are, depending on the type of paint you're using, just be careful not to have it on too high of a heat setting, because if you have it on too hot, it can actually cause your paint to crack a little. All right, so especially if you like to paint with like a thick amount of paint. So.
Mine is pretty good.
All right, so our pink is pretty dry now. All right, and I'm gonna go in. Reegan had to catch our paper towels. I'm gonna go in with some more of that bubblegum pink, and I'm gonna do a second layer. All right, I don't want it to be too thick because I want it to dry quickly so I can add some more detail on top.
This brush.
Yeah, you can use that brush if you want to. If you want to, for better smooth coverage, you can use your flat brush. I'm just going to go in because I kind of know how to use my fine liner brush on the side so I can get some good coverage. I kind of use it at an angle. It kind of almost has the same effect as a flat brush. But
Getting this side.
if you don't know how to do that, you can use your flat brush. All right, so I'm just covering this up, getting a second layer on. Valentine's Day is only a couple days away, guys. So this, yeah, 2 days away. So this could be like a really cute idea if you want to paint with your kids. Maybe on Valentine's Day, instead of buying them a whole bunch of candy and some garbage, you could paint with them on Valentine's Day. Reegan just looked at me. She's like, what do you mean candy's garbage? I know, but the kids, there's so much stuff, and I'm pretty sure your kids would rather spend quality time with you than to have a whole bunch of candy. Right, Reegan? Don't say no. You got to say yes. We're on camera. All right. So I'm just giving a second coat to all these bubblegum pink colors. I'll even get down here in the robe. And then what will happen is once we let this darker pink color, the bubblegum pink color dry, then we'll go in with some details from the light pink. And it'll really kind of make the hat really pop and stand out. And I like the black background because it really adds some contrast to our painting. And if you're painting this with your kids, encourage your kids to slow down and take their time. I know kids like to rush through things. Reegan paints with me a lot, so she's pretty good about, not going too fast. She does go fast sometimes, but just encourage them to slow down, take their time, make it look nice. Okay, so I've got that. And I think now I can maybe go in with, let's see. Oh, I want to make a little line here. I'm going to use that same bubblegum pink. I'm going to make a little line coming down to the heart, almost like it's hanging from his hat. Okay. I'm rinsing my brush because I'm not, oops, I hit the camera, guys. Sorry. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet next. Let's see. What can we do next? You're doing a good job with that coverage, Reegan. Okay, so I think next I'll probably add in, should I do the black lines or should I make the colors on the
I don't know.
all right, well, that's cute. Are you gonna add in some more pink on the heart?
Oh yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go in with the light pink. Okay, so you guys see I had the bubblegum pink and I had the light pink. I've got some light pink on my paintbrush, and I'm just gonna add in some curves to the hat. And you can start off anywhere you want. All right, you can make them as thick or as thin as you want.
The light pink?
Yeah. And it's okay, like my paint is a little heavier on the left side than it is on the right, so it almost looks a little brighter. That's cool, that's fine. Because we kind of, whenever you paint anything, you kind of want to have some highlights going through. So it's okay if it's a little thicker and brighter on one side than the other, because we're even going to add some white highlights to this. Okay, and I'm just going to do these cute little lines across the whole thing. You don't have to make them all like mine. You can make zigzag lines, you can make squiggly lines, you can do polka dots, whatever you want to do. So I'm kind of even changing my lines as I go up, just to almost give some dimension to the hat. You might need to put some more paint on your brush when you do it, Reegan.
Good.
Okay. This the gnomes are like a fun new trend, and I like every store I go into, I see gnomes all over the place for every occasion. Christmas, Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving, Easter, literally everything. 4th of July, summertime. I saw beach gnomes, like, so this could really be like customized any way you want to. So like if you do this, you could make it different colors for the different holidays. You know, at the end of this, I do want to add in some, I want to add in some hearts like around him. All right, but you can add in 4-leaf clovers for St. Patrick's Day, which I might do another gnome painting when it gets closer to St. Patrick's Day. You could do, you know, if you were doing Thanksgiving, you could maybe do little pumpkin pies or something.
I would want to do.
Oh, you would want to do like, oh, that would be a cute idea, like a little leprechaun gnome with a pot of gold and stuff.
Yeah, or maybe just like.
Oh, careful, Reegan, you're pushing my camera. But yeah, that would be cool. With like a rainbow.
Coming out with glitter.
Oh yeah, with gold glitter for like the pot of gold. Okay. So I did that. Let's see. I got my stripes in. Next, maybe I'll go back in with just a little bit more of that pink because this is drying out. I want it to be a little bit more bold. It's still a little see-through. Some paints do not have as good a coverage, and especially if you're painting on a black canvas, even though it does look really nice, sometimes it does take a few coats of color because black is such a dominant color that it will literally be, you'll still be able to see it through your paint unless you do a few coats, depending on the kind of paint you're using. Alright, I'm just putting a little bit of that bubblegum pink in between the lines just to make it stand out a little bit more. You don't have to do this. If you've already done a sufficient coverage on this, you don't have to do this. Also, if you're watching this and you want to paint this but you're not prepared right now, save this video and come back and paint it later. Or if I'm going too fast for you, feel free to pause me and press play again when you catch up. Alright, and next, let's see. Next I'm going to do maybe just a little bit more white to thicken up that beard a little. Alright, I rinsed my brush.
I was doing...
Alright, and I'm just going to go in with a kind of a thin second coat of white. There we go. And next, actually, I didn't even need to rinse off my brush. I'm going to go in with some white highlights. So I'm going to add some white to the hat because so these lighter pink lines look really cute, but I do want to make them stand out a little bit more. So I'm just going to go in with some white highlights right on top of the line. I don't want to completely cover it up. So we're just going to add in just a little bit. And I don't want to go all the way across because it just needs to add a little bit of dimension, that's all. Alright, and you can do as many or as little as you want. I just think it makes these colors stand out just a little bit more by adding the white. And if your pink paint is still wet, you might need to make sure you have a good amount of white paint on your brush in order for it to stay. Whenever you're painting wet on wet, like if you have wet paint on your canvas and you want to add another color on top while it's still wet, you kind of need more paint on your brush than you have on your canvas in that spot that you're painting. And that way it stays on here. If not, your brush will just, if you have less paint on your brush than you do wet paint on the canvas, it'll just pick up the color, the paint right off of the canvas and just stay on your brush. So in order to get that paint to stay while your canvas is still wet, you just want to make sure you have enough paint on your brush. Alright, and I'm just being very careful because I don't want to add too much white paint. I want it to be kind of a thin line. So I'm applying very little pressure. For this step you don't need a lot of pressure, very little pressure. The more pressure you do, the thicker your line will be. If you If you want a thin line, just apply very little pressure. All right, so we have that. Now we could maybe, let's make some feet. You want to give him some feet, Reegan?
I already did.
Oh, you did. I'm going to use my gold to give him some feet like Reegan did. All right, and so for his feet, we're just going to... Just some like half circle shapes, really. Reegan, yours kind of look like Jesus sandals. I don't know why. That's just the impression I get when I look at it. It's cute.
I made this.
Oh, you're giving him a heart.
Yeah, I made it out of gold.
Oh, you mixed
pink,
gold
white,
and pink.
And I put some sparkles on it too.
Oh, that's cute.
In it.
Reegan likes to get creative with her stuff, which I always encourage. Creativity, as long as they're not trying to make it a muddy mess, which honestly, it doesn't even matter. They're just having fun and being creative. Definitely have them put some thought into it and get a little creative. Maybe they'll figure out something new that they like, a new style or whatever. Okay. Next, I'm going to go in with black paint and I'm going to outline some of this. All right, so I don't need a lot on my brush, just a little bit, because remember, black is a very dominant color. All right, and we are going to outline the beard. All right, so I don't really need to do it so much on the outside because it's already black, but I'm going to do it anyways. All right, and I'm just going to follow the lines of the beard. And I'm applying very little pressure so I get a thin little line. All right, and this is just separating the colors because pink and white and the gold, all these colors are kind of light colors. So sometimes if we don't do that, it'll just look like they kind of all blend together.
How come I always get the squeaky chair?
I don't know. Well, it was my chair, but you stole my chair, so that's why. All right, and I am going to outline the hat. All right, and the reason for that is even though the canvas is black and we don't really need to outline it, I want to do it because I've got a couple jagged edges. So I'm just being careful because my hat is still a little wet, so I don't want to stick my hand in the hat. All right, but I'm going around to kind of smooth out the edges a little bit. All right, and I'm just going all around just to differentiate the pieces. So I'm going around the hat.
I made another color. It's like a gray.
I'm going to go around the nose as well.
I made a gray to outline this heart.
Oh, you're going to do gray to outline the heart?
Yeah, I mixed some colors to make gray.
Oh, that's right. On it, you did a little different because you did it on his shirt. All right, so I'm going to outline his nose as well. Very little pressure.
I did black, white, and a light.
I'm going to outline his shoes a little bit. And sometimes you don't even need to outline the whole thing. Sometimes just a little bit of an outline or a half of an outline gives the impression that that it's, you know, that they're different. All right. Next, I want to add a little bit of maybe more depth, to create more depth in here. I'm going to add a little bit of a line. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to go around, maybe add a couple little dots.
I need another color because I think I'm going to do a little something different.
Yeah?
So I need the green.
Okay. Alright, I'm just adding a little bit. This almost shows some more curve to it. And remember, you can add whatever you want to make this unique to you. If I wanted to add some more little lines in his beard, you know, I could. And I am. But I don't want to add too many because I think it'll kind of take away a little bit. It might be a little too much. So I'm just adding a few little lines. Alright, so I got some lines there. Next, I want to add some gold around the heart. Alright, so I'm just using very little gold on my brush, and I'm just going to outline the heart. And I might even add some of that pink glitter to this in a second. Okay, might even add maybe a little gold highlight to his nose. Could even add a little bit of gold on the edge here. You can add, like I said, you can add as much or as little as you want. If you want to add it in his beard, feel free. He's got some gold in his beard. He doesn't have silver in his beard. He's got gold.
I accidentally got paint on my finger and then I made a design.
Oh, well that's all right. That's kind of cute. I'm going to do hearts around it.
Yeah.
So around the edge of this, I'm going to add in the final touches because we are pretty much done with this. What I want is I would like to add some little tiny hearts, just looking like this guy is overflowing with some Valentine's love. I want some gold hearts, and I want some pink hearts, and I can do different color ones. I could do the darker pink, the bubblegum pink, and I could do the light pink too.
I'm doing that kind of design, like some dots of different colors.
That's cool. Alright, you can make these hearts go in different directions. You might not want them all facing the same way.
And now you don't need to paint the sides. It's already painted.
Oh, that's true. Oh, and actually you gave me an idea. We could paint the sides with some little stripes or something, or maybe add some hearts. Remember like I did with the bird painting?
Oh yeah.
Alright, and for the hearts, it's so simple, guys. I'm literally just making almost like a V shape. You can do different size hearts, some bigger, some smaller. I'm going to rinse off my brush. I'm going to switch over to some pink. And I can even add some gold highlights to some of the pink hearts when I'm done. And if it's easier to turn your canvas to make some hearts go in different directions, feel free to do so. They don't all need to be in the same direction. Just make sure not to stick your hand in your wet paint. I am famous for doing that.
Now I am too.
Yes, Reegan is too. Okay, let me maybe get in. I didn't rinse off my brush for this. I'm just dipping into the light pink. I'm going to do some light pink hearts too. I don't need a huge amount because I've already got a lot of hearts on here and I don't want to overwhelm it. Sometimes when you're painting, sometimes less is more. When things get too busy, it can kind of take away from it. I kind of like the way this looks. I might just add, oop, I keep hitting this camera. I might just add some glitter and then call it a thing. What do you think, Reegan? How's it looking?
Good. I'm gonna add glitter too.
Oh, you got a lot of dots in the sky. Oh, you even got grass.
And I gave him gray dots, bubblegum dots, and light pink dots.
Yes, I like it. I like the color tone because, you know, you got the gray in there, which kind of works with the black and the white and the pink. It just makes the pink stand out that much more. Let's see. Could even add a little highlight of glitter there. Whatever you guys want to do to make your gnome stand out is completely okay. Don't feel like your painting has to look exactly like mine. You don't want it to look exactly like mine. You want it to be unique so you can call it your own. I'm going to add in just a little bit of glitter throughout here. And then I'm going to sign it and be done. So if you are watching this, I would love it if you guys could give me a like and subscribe to my channel. That way you don't miss out on new videos. You know, I'm always trying to work on new videos and think of other things you guys might enjoy. So feel free to share in the comments if, you know, what you would love to see next. If you, what design would you do on this? Would you like to see this in a Valentine's one like this? Or would you rather try it in like, St. Patrick's Day, Christmas? How would you make this unique for you? And definitely show some love and support and subscribe. And I am so glad that you are here to watch with us. And we thank you very much. Reegan, say thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Hope you have a great day. Paint again soon.